Hello, everyone. Welcome to SIVOFEC, another podcast for everyday people. Um, Today, again, no Lanka with us from England. So it's going to be only me and Salia from Australia going through the podcast. And the topic we picked today is an interesting one. We picked the word impact. Um, Before we go further, let us acknowledge our traditional owners of the land, elders past and present and emerging, and pay our respect to the traditional owners of the land. Salia, before I hand over to you, I'm going to talk a little bit about this word impact.
Yeah.
With my understanding, the impact word is interconnected with expectation. Now, Salia, you and I have both worked for a company, for long time. I've worked for this company for 19 years. I think
Yeah.
it's only about
6
six
years.
years, and we both have been in the leadership. Um, so we want to talk about how this impact and expectation works with the um, professional life, and also we want to talk about um, how it works with day-to-day life and the family life. Let's not forget about this one with the Simon Sinek. We want to bring Simon Sinek because all our aspiration is around Simon Sinek. He's talking about this impact with the new generation. He says he's talking to this new generation, and whenever you ask how you're going with your job, say, "No, I think I'm going to quit." Why? I've been in the company for 6 months and I have not made an impact. So he's talking about that. We're not going to go and talk about what he's talking about that, but basically get the idea of that. Relate to where you and I was, Ali. I remember just over a year ago, before I left the company that I worked, my boss, who was my immediate boss, asked me to go. Basically, not functioning well at all. There was a lot of problems. So initially, my boss said, "Go and caretake of this unit, try to hold it together." So I went there to trying to hold it together with so many things to take. It was not only one. There's so many things to take, and then somehow I came back to my usual unit where I was working. And then, over a casual talk, my boss told me, you had that unit for 2.5 months. You haven't made any impact.
Wow.
You know, it's sad to see that you haven't made any impact. I was thinking, I was there 2.5 months, trying to hold it together.
Yeah.
So this impact is expectation.
That's right.
So in professional life, the organization set very high expectations, and then the leaders looking at impact
Yeah.
and judging the team they're working
Exactly.
based on impact. So now going back to Simon Sinek, if you're a true leader, if you're a true leader who's genuinely care for your team, your impact is not the one that you would be worried about. To me, is how you look after your team, how you work with them, how you give your know-how to them, and then also empower them to take up responsibility, being patient. Now, when you are not capable of doing that, or when you are not willing to take the time to deal with the situation, of course the pressure mounts.
Yeah.
And if you're looking at only your KPIs, this is what you got to achieve. You're taking the whole human value out of the scene. That's one. So for us everyday people, like, what we need to do, 'cause those who are in leadership, when they do it, what we got to do is stay focused, I think. The expectation is good, but the expectation has to be realistic. Expectation should be benefiting
Yeah.
uh, everyone, including the person who's working
Yes.
and the organization. So it's got to go hand in hand. And to me, is if the person who's working for that organization, if that person is happy and willing to give everything,
Yeah.
automatically
That
expectation for the
will be
organization
met,
rises
yeah,
as well.
100%.
Now, before we go to our personal lives and day to day,
Yes.
Kali, you want to share some of your experience in your leadership? You have
Yeah,
had.
it's going to be an interesting part to share what I've experienced. Now, Asanka, when we talk about impact, impact is how I see impact is a consequence of actions that we take. Right. So I would like to mainly focus, like we used to work for organization, so that organization was more into retail, and we were working with a large crowd of people. So I'd like to focus mainly on social impact and emotional impact. So basically, as department managers or leaders in the business, we had to lead a team, and we also had to bring in money to the company as well. So there were two elements. But to bring in the money part, yes, we could bring in the money because the sales were already there. It was more of how we organize our people, like how we bring the morale up on our team and get the team to work. So socially and emotionally, well, when you talk about emotional impact, most of the staff members, we all have our personal lives. Like we're going to get into that a bit later, but we all have our personal life, and the personal life choices and the actions around the personal life impact on our daily routine. So different set of people get together and try to work, and as leaders, we try to manage this team and make a social impact in our industry. It's not an easy thing to do. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's not an easy thing to do because, yes, it's from a manager's perspective or a higher management, they would always expect quick, instant outcomes. It's hard to get instant outcomes. Yes, if you're writing a program, if it is a robot, yes, you can expect an instant outcome. But I don't think with humans it is that easy. It needs time, like you mentioned. It needs patience. So if like in your situation, I was surprised to hear that, putting you into a place for just for 2 months where it is totally messed up and expect a huge impact. I think you've already done the impact there. It was almost about to collapse. You held it, you brought it together. But I think maybe they didn't. That maybe that was not the expectation they had.
Very true. Now the expectation is first is you send it, okay, he can hold it. Now we want to squeeze and see what. So the more you squeeze, more juice you get out.
Yeah.
That's what they think.
The
The
corporate
more you squeeze someone,
Yeah.
yes, the more juice will come. But the lemon is squashed.
Yes.
It's useless after that.
Exactly.
So that's why it goes hand in hand with the expectation. Now today, there's a lot of the discussions about how it. I was listening to news about today in the mining industry is the highest paid industry. And there's in Australia there's a lot of mental health issues for
Yes.
people working in the
Yeah.
mining industry. The news of the lady came and spoke on ABC News today is talking about how badly mental health had hit and affected. There were people in the mining industry working away from home, and they're disconnected. And when they go to work, there's so many high expectations to achieve. So they're pressurized on those things.
Yep.
There are family breakdowns, divorces, and so many
And when
problems.
you mentioned that, I thought I'll quickly mention as well, like even in our industry, the industry that we used to work, the retail industry, we saw emotional impact. Like, our staff members were going through a really hard emotional phase sometimes, just because the decisions that a manager or a higher manager has taken and delivered down the command line. So sometimes those decisions, if the leader is not leading the right way, that'll impact the whole team.
Exactly.
It'll exhaust the team. It'll bring down the team spirit. But if the leader is leading correctly, making the right decisions and giving the right support to the team, then we can lift the impact, especially emotionally, because we were working with mostly young mixed crowd. So we had young um, young staff members and we had older staff members. So they their life choices were different. The way they were expecting the leaders to lead were different, and their personal life impacts were different. So we had to be very careful, and we had to be very productive and proactive when we make decisions. But what I had experienced was some of the poor decisions had impacted really badly, really negatively, to bring a negative impact towards the whole group of people that we were working. So and like you said earlier, high expectations and instant results. Well, yes, there are certain places where we can get high instant results, but not all the time. That's where we need to have a plan. That's where we need to uh, do a teamwork. That's where we need to do a little bit of brainstorming and plan properly. So a lot of things, like when you talk about impact, impact is a very broad topic to talk about.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Very broad topic. So that's the side of um, professional life.
Yes.
Now we come to personal life. Salia, I always like to talk about me
Yes.
first.
Same here.
Now, I think working for an organization for 19 years of that caliber, some of it has come to how I see it is. Some of it has come to my head as well. So now I'm consciously looking at every time it happens. You know how what is good at SIVOFEC, when we put all these ideas together and then we said everything what we do, we do unconditionally.
Yes.
Because SIVOFEC is not aiming to make any money. Right now we are just uh, we are doing it to support people.
Yes.
Unconditionally, even supporting people, Salia, um, little expectations sometimes come to mind. I want to relate to you and me. When
Yeah.
I called you, Salia, whether you want to join us, Sivofec, and work,
Yes.
you said immediately yes, and then we were going on. And then it hits. You had a lot of things that
Yeah.
you had
I
to
had a.
deal with, and there was a time that you couldn't. You know how when you say that, straight away what got to mind is, oh, Salia committed? Now,
Yes.
Salia is. Now, then I reflect, hey, Salia committed, yes. But we said unconditional.
Yes.
And now, why am I thinking Salia cannot commit? So it took me instant. That instant
Yeah.
message took me to the previous learned behavior. But then I had to rethink, and then it's no. Here, Salia can come.
Yes.
Salia say no, I cannot come. That is all accept, because we have no condition laid out.
Yes.
And then that educated me. Now the other thing I want to take with is my family, with my wife.
Yes.
So sometimes we set expectation. You will do this part, I'll do this part, and then without communicating, you expect your part to be done. But now, right now, I'm consciously thinking,
Yeah.
if my wife doesn't do this part, I'm not going to
Yes.
complain about. I'm going to pick it up,
Mhm.
because if I pick it up, then my wife said, "Wow, I forgot to do this." So there's always, but no expectation.
Yes.
I'm not expecting um, her to come back and talk to me, or to my kids.
Yes.
Completely ignore the expectation. It's very hard. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm trying hard,
Yeah.
and every time I make a mistake, what I do is I want to get better. I want to
Yeah.
get better, trying hard. So I think this is what is required from leaders,
Yeah. No,
and
you're right.
and it take a long time,
Yes.
but 1% better today is better than 0%.
Exactly.
So
And like when you mentioned about your family situation, and there was a couple of key words that I noticed: communication and expectation. So the communication is a key thing when it comes to impact. Expectation is a key thing, a key factor when it comes to impact. So there are certain key elements that affects the impact. And also when we do things, and when a leader leads a team, that will become a long-term impact on the team. And even in our personal life, like for example, my son is only 9 years old. I've got so many things. He's growing up really fast. There's a lot of things happening around him, and my choices, my wife's choices, the choices we make is impacting him directly and indirectly. We get really busy with life. You know, Asanka, we've been driving Uber at the moment, so we just been very busy. Uh, we work nights, we work days. There's no set time for us, but we try to work around things. But working around things, sometimes my son will come to me and say, "Dad, I miss you. Can you stay home?" But in my head, I've got to feed my family, I've got to earn, and I've got to go out on the right time to make the right amount of money. So I had to make a hard choice and I had to come out. But that is affecting my son's choices, and that's impacting him in a negative way. So it's um, it's quite unfortunate in certain times that we have to make hard decisions. But what I think is we need to focus on mostly is when it comes to our family life, we should not let that effect become a permanent or long-term impact on them. Yes, it can be a short-term impact, but then we have to work around and then try to ease things out and then try to get back at them and make sure that reassure them that it's just a temporary impact. It won't be a long-term impact. I think that's what you were trying to explain as well. Like, when you said if your wife had missed something, that you're trying to pick it up rather trying to point it out. I think I'm trying to do the same as well, because we both, in my family as well, we both are busy. I know you've got two kids, I've got one. Yeah, we need to make the right choices.
Yeah, very true. It's hard. It's hard, but as my like you said about your son, the same.
Mm.
Yeah, setting expectation. My son, my little one.
Mm.
When I try to go as well, because say, can you tickle me? He likes
Yeah.
being tickled.
Yeah.
So I used to say, I'm busy. I'll do another day. Then now I think, okay, it takes only a minute. Let
Yeah.
me tickle it. And like if your son is asking you to stay,
Mm.
you could say, okay, I'm going to take 5 minutes. I'm going to stay 5 minutes, give
Exactly.
everything that in that 5 minutes to him and explain, look, I've been with you now. That's got to go now.
Yes.
But
Exactly.
that impact is better than saying, no, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So these are all choices.
So
We are
and
left with choices in life.
yes.
But how do we make these choices to minimize the word using the
Yes.
impact?
I think it's the awareness.
Yeah.
Because see, when we are busy, when we are focused on something, we kind of get tunnel vision.
Correct.
We get limited view. We only mainly focus on that particular thing that we are trying to do. So we are not 100% aware of the surroundings or the other things happening around us. We only focus on one objective. When that happens, we get distracted. And when we keep focusing on that one thing for a longer period of time, then there's other issues building up due to that impact. So I think the key thing for me, I see, is the awareness of your surroundings and your family and your work. Awareness should be the key impact to change,
Make a positive
make a
impact.
positive impact.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
There you go. So we picked the word impact and we connected that with the expectation. So these are our experience. We shared our life experience. I'm sure viewers, you have your own. Now, we don't expect the world to be perfect tomorrow, but if we consciously make an effort to change. There is a saying, Salia, they say people never change. There's a lot of people say people never change.
Yeah.
That is because the behavior, the learned behavior to unlearn and relearn
Yes.
is very hard and it takes a long period.
Exactly.
And then you don't see that change. But we can do that.
Patience.
And
People
patience.
don't have
We can
patience.
do that. So it's measured over a very long period of time. So we need to have that patience to wait for that time. But what is happening is, unless you are a family member or very close friend, that long period of time change you will not see, because someone who's walking into your life, if you're a changed person, you will see that person then. If someone walked into your life 5 years prior to that,
Mhm.
if that person is a different person, you'll see that then.
Yeah.
But it's all going into a judgment. We shouldn't be judging. We should trust us. We
Yes.
should trust us, and we should put an individual effort to change our behavior.
Yes.
When we change our behavior, you don't need to show the world.
Yes.
The world will see. World
Exactly.
will see who you are. So if every one of us keep doing that,
Yes.
it's naturally will
Yes.
come to that,
Exactly.
and no expectations, or there's nothing in return
Mhm.
expected when you're doing it.
Exactly.
Don't string such a. So viewers, this is, we are sharing this for everyday people. These are practical daily issues and daily concerns and daily challenges we all meet. And if you, we keep inviting you to come to our podcast. If you wish to, please do come and discuss with us. Situations like this, pick a word, how that word is put into the day-to-day life, and whether you are a professional working work life. Let us get together, build this, and help others to listen and learn from these ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, and also, like Asanka mentioned, we have to change within. But when we are changing within, the two key things is you have to have patience and you have to have dedication. Dedication and patience will definitely, because it's hard. It takes longer period of time. When we do something, when we expect a result from a longer period of time, that means you have to be 100% committed and dedicated to that, and then you have to have patience, because there's always going to be ups and downs. So if we have that courage, patience, and the commitment, yes, we can make an impact in our life by changing ourselves and trying to impact the society to change into a positive way. And like Asanka mentioned, we invite all our viewers to give us more feedback, words that you have, and more ways that we can improve. What do you think of our videos? What do you think of how we deliver it to you? Give us feedback. We welcome any sort of positive, negative, any feedback is welcomed.
And also request, if you can, please subscribe and support us, because the bigger we get, better it is going to be for everyone. This is
Yes.
for people. This channel is for every one of you.
Yeah.
And we are slowly starting to grow now. Our subscribers was 53 for a long time, and it's almost 1,000 now. We are still tiny, very tiny, but the, this tiny bit can make a huge difference.
Exactly.
And thank you very much for watching. And
Yeah.
I hope Lanka is. We just got a message. Lanka will be available for the next podcast from UK. Maybe Salia, you can take over from Lanka, and you two can be in this podcast next time.
That'll be great. We all three of us can be in the podcast as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys. Like, subscribe us. The bigger we grow, we can make a bigger impact to the society. Impact to the society. That's our keyword today. Thank you all.
Thank you. See you next time.